because everything is prescribed in the law. It is prescribed. I just want to encourage colleagues that when they come to the podium suggesting that the Commission does not have the power, they should quote the law where that provision is. Specific to say, here you don't have the power. Let us not come here to try to cause commotion. ECZ is not conducting election in isolation. We are witnesses to these elections. That is why we are called election monitors, election observers. That is why we are here. So let us sober up and allow the process to roll out. Secondly, I just want to say something that there have been misinformation on the media. Misinformation, misleading misinformation about these elections. I would want to ask the CEO how the Electoral Commission of Zambia agencies to curtail this misinformation. If it is on the media, how is the Commission working with ZICTA to ensure that those who are spreading misinformation about these elections could be arrested? If we're going to have a transparent, free and fair election, we need to ensure that all arms of government are put in place in their mandate to curtail such an arrest, because we don't want, this process has been peaceful from the time we started. The poll day was very peaceful. People should not start causing confusion as the Commission is counting the votes. I thank you.
Let me just quickly get an indication of how many people we have with questions. Okay, so we are capping at the last 3 so that we conclude. Let's proceed.
Thank you very much. Good morning, CEO. My name is Wali Anondo, a bona fide citizen of this republic and a member of NRPUP media team, national media team. CEO, the first day when you addressed this house, I brought to your attention concerning Honorable Mao Sampa's conduct, which earlier you described as a crime or a criminal conduct. And your response was that at that time, you had not received or seen the purported picture which he took inside the polling station as he was voting. The country would wish to know if up to now the Commission has not seen that picture. Secondly, when you suspended the counting and the announcement of elections, you cited one of the reasons that certain criminals somewhere went into polling stations and stole ballot papers. The country would want to know what has happened to those stolen ballot papers. Thank you very much.
Good morning, CEO. Good morning, members of the Commission. My name is Mohango Gift Shawezi. I'm from KTV Africa, Kutika TV Africa. I would like to echo my colleague's sentiments, especially my friend from KBN and also the gentleman from TIZ. The issue of giving us half-baked information is putting us, your stakeholders, especially the media, in an awkward situation, because people out there are expecting us to give them information, especially after the suspension, you intimated to us that a statement will be given and I think posted on your platforms. But where you suspend a process of such magnitude and then you post a one-page statement, how do we explain the circumstances that lead to it? Because these are burning questions. People out there need to know. Like we are asking, what happened to the ballot boxes? Where are those pockets of violence? People are asking questions. And when our colleague from TIZ asked the question, I think the perspective, CEO, that you took is the fact that it was explained during the briefing. But you just gave us the reasons as to why, but never told us exactly the bottom lines, the specific reasons that we need to know. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm Max Moe from the UPND. It's just a rider on our alliance partner, our leader Chikuse's question. On yesterday's guidance by the Electoral Commission of Zambia, we do acknowledge that one of the candidates, President Mundubile of the NRPUP, declared himself a winner, after which his own members went on rampage, in some cases destroying property, taking over or grabbing trading centers, and causing a lot of havoc in some parts of Lusaka. We would want to know what remedies the ECZ has administered to see to it that this perpetrator is handled as per law established. The other one is a comment which I need to also make in relation to the suspension. Our considered view as a party is that the Constitution of Zambia, of course, mandates the Electoral Commission of Zambia to preside over all electoral processes. And we do believe that the ECZ is not a court to be moved by someone else. It can actually move itself when they see it fit to remedy a particular situation. In view of this, we want to indicate that it's not statute bound that someone must first of all report. That's when they move in, because they are not adversarial. They can also be inquisitorial. They can inquire in a particular matter and make a decision. We submit.
Thank you very much. I would like to close at Mr. Smo. There's already some, I said, can we see the people that need to ask questions? I saw 3 hands. Now I'm seeing another person. Please proceed and I'll cap it at that. So anybody else on the podium, please bear with me. Mr. Kasonde Mwenda has just walked in and is already raising his hand. Mr. Kasonde Mwenda, sir, you've just walked in and they're already raising your hand. Okay, let's see what we can do. Sir, may I request that you sit for now? Let the CEO respond because I need to just check. I'm seeing more hands going up. Just be near the podium. Don't go far. Don't go far. You can sit almost near there. We'll call you back to the podium. CEO, let's respond to the issues, questions and concerns raised, because I see a number of stakeholders want to still interact.
Thank you. I'll proceed to address the questions. The first question from Mr. Jonas. Firstly, I think that the fact that I'm here today together with colleagues from management is a recognition that the Commission places importance in these interactions, especially that it is the Commission that established this National Results Center for purposes of sharing information on the 2026 general election. Now, as developments occur, there may be instances where a statement will be read and like yesterday, a statement was read and no opportunity was given for question and answer because of the circumstances in which we found ourselves in and needed to address urgent things that were developing situations that led to that same statement and continued to be monitored. So the fact that we're here today, to repeat myself, and having this interaction means that is a testimony that we appreciate, and we will be available to be able to take clarifications and explain things as we go along. So in addition, members of the press, once again, the fact that we are here, probably our consciences have already been spoken to. You say you'd like to appeal to our conscience, but the fact that we are here means that this has always been a plan of the Commission and is a policy. So please rest assured we'll be available to address the concerns as much as we can. Now, secondly, there was an allusion to the fact that the Commission suspended the election. Probably to clarify, the statement was very clear. What was suspended was counting an announcement, not the election. So that needed to be clear. As to the question of authority, I think the Commission put forward its understanding of the legal mandate it has and the reasons for that suspension. You have a different interpretation. We will leave it there, but I think that's understood. Let me clarify on the issues of Gen 20s. I think we've come across this information also on social media, that in the results management process, I think right from the beginning, as we've been explaining, is that the results management process starts from the polling station. Now, our polling station are not computerized. The processes there are entirely manual. And when it comes to the presidential election, the document, the announcement form document at the polling station is referred to as Gen 20. That document is completed by hand. So the names of the candidates and the votes obtained are completed by the presiding officer by hand. Upon conclusion of the process or processes at the polling stations, the presiding officers proceed to the totaling centers. So they proceed to their constituency centers. At that point, the result from the polling station is read out, and then upon reading it out to the audience within the center, the result is handed over to an appropriate officer for capture into our results management system. And now that system is the one that is used for adding up the votes in that constituency for each of the candidates. And the totals for that constituency is a printout of the system. And the form is also called Gen 20, but it has an A at the end. It's a Gen 20A. And that form, the figures, the candidate names, and the votes, total votes obtained in that constituency are computer printed. The returning officer does not need to write those by hand. Okay? So it is that form, the computer printed out form that bears the ECZ logo, and it's a Gen 20A that is used by the returning officer at the constituency to announce the results of the presidential election at the constituency. Remember, the operative word is announce. They're not declaring, they're announcing. So once again, rather 20B. So once again, sorry, let me correct myself, it's 20B, okay? But just note that there's a letter at the end of the 20, not just 20, Gen 20. So the important thing to note is that it's a computer printout. So when we're comparing these two forms, let's take note of that distinction. There's a Gen 20 from the polling station completed by the presiding officer, and there's a Gen 20B at the constituency center that is computer generated, albeit signed by the returning officer before the announcement is made. So let's make that distinction very clear. There was a question on the ballot papers in ballot boxes that were reported stolen. Yes, the commission is accounting for this. So as the commission continues to announce the results, and specifically when these constituencies will be announced, detailed information will be provided for this so that the nation can appreciate how the votes that had been cast have been accounted for those particular polling stations. So for now, they're not among those that the commission is announcing. So when we get to the point where we announce the results for example, Mandevu constituency, the nation will be informed as to how the particular issue will be accounted for. Thank you. I think I did address the issue, the first part from KBN, in terms of stakeholder engagement and addressing concerns from the media. On the second part, most of what you narrated there, we're learning those facts for the first time, except for two comments to make. Firstly, without specifics of, you did allude to an official of the NGOCC that was, may have been arrested, without necessarily giving a detailed comment to it, but suffice to note that the law is very clear around usage of electronic devices in a polling station. And that is prohibited. In terms of the circumstances at the University of Zambia, once again, it's an item that will be addressed as the commission announces results for Monali, is it Roma constituency? No, I get Roma, right? Yeah, Roma constituency. So we have a detailed report from our returning officer that they did follow procedure in administering the poll at the polling stations at the University of Zambia. In terms of deployment of the other security agencies besides the police, this, for those of you who have followed the electoral process, this is not the first time. During the 2021 general election, during the announcements of results again, right here at the National Results Center, we did, the commission did have the support, not only of the police, but other law enforcement agencies. But what is important to note is that in all these undertakings, necessary protocols are followed, which the respective law enforcement agencies ensure that are adhered to so that everything is done in accordance with the law. So be rest assured that their presence is for purposes of ensuring that the process is secure and the citizens feel secure. And you will note that when it comes to polling stations or totaling centers, they are never inside. They are outside to ensure that there's law and order, and our officials are undertaking their assignments with the necessary appropriate environment. There was a comment around declaration, the declaration of one candidate as a winner, and what administrative and other measures as the commission has undertaken. Let's note that, firstly, the issuance of the statement itself was an administrative measure where the commission reiterated the legal position around the fact that it's only the commission that is mandated to announce and indeed declare any election results. An offense remains an offense, and the commission as was indicated in the statement yesterday, has taken note, and these will be addressed as we proceed. I think the comment from Mr. Mvula is, okay, the first is actually acknowledged around the power and authority of the Electoral Commission. The issue of mis and disinformation, yes, firstly, the first strategy is the establishment of this very center, and what we're doing currently is one of those measures that the Commission has put in place so that citizens out there are provided with an opportunity to get first-hand facts around the management of this process, specifically the 2026 general election and indeed the presidential election results. Where it is blatant disinformation, again, an offense remains an offense. These are being taken note, and in some instances, other agencies of government are taking proactive action. But you must recall also that at this point, the focus of the Commission is to ensure that we conclude the results receipt, verification, and announcement so that the declaration of the presidential election results is undertaken as soon as possible. I think in some way I have addressed the issue raised by the NRPUP representative in terms of have we seen Mr. Sampa's post and so forth. An offense remains an offense, and the Commission has taken note, and we will proceed as such. In terms of what happened to the stolen, I think I've addressed that. So as the results for the respective constituencies are announced, great detail will be provided so that the great detail will be provided so that the great detail will be provided so that the I would want to take the comment that it's half-baked to be an opinion, because when it comes to what the Commission shares, it's very deliberate about what needs to be taken out there for the nation to appreciate the rationale behind the reason, rather the rationale behind the decision. Now, suffice also to add that when you are dealing with a security situation, you can only disclose so much for purposes of risking further insecurity. So a decision was made, and the decision was publicized. The Commission came before the nation and undertook that decision publicly. So let's rest assured that it was done in the best interest. And as earlier indicated, a commitment was undertaken to review, which was done way sooner than the 24 hours that had been placed on the table. So let's proceed with that understanding. I think I have addressed the first part of Mr. Somoa's intervention, and the next was more of a comment around the process, as it were. Thank you. Come.
Thank you, Sir. With your indulgence, let me get the last round of questions. Stakeholders would like to sit here and interact with you more, but you will remember the Commission has made a commitment to come back for results announcement at 13 hours. We will need to go back and begin to prep around 13 hours. We'll continue interacting as long as we are here. So my good gentleman who went to the podium, please proceed to ask your question. Mr. Kasonde Mwenda, if you can go to the podium at the back over there. I'm assuming those are the only two questions. Mr. Mwanza, I'll beg that for now, let's just allow those two. We will come back for more interactions. Like I've indicated, we are not curtailing the conversation, but we also need to manage the time we are spending.
Member of Parliament results. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you and good morning. Kasonde Mwenda, representative of the Tonse Pamozi Alliance. We appreciate your giving us this opportunity because indeed we were worried when we were starved of such important interactions. So we commend you for coming back. First one is an issue that is causing a lot of anxiety with regards how the information has been managed after the resumption of the voting and counting process. It was done impromptu and it was done with immediate effect. But some of the salient issues that have arisen is that people want to know at the time of departure from counting and announcement up until the time of resumption of counting and announcement, what is and what was the state of the polling material. Why this is of serious concern is because it has created a lot of anxiety, because the information that a lot of people are sitting on is that by large, most of the material was already counted. So we'd want clarity, or at least guidance, as we got from the previous address by the ECZ chairperson, who had vehemently put it across that polling had happened exclusively and well at all polling stations. But now with regards counting, we needed to be guided the extent to which the counting had been done and concluded, because we are having the fear that what is being purported on the ground, if at all it is true, that it is not a continuation of the count, but a recount that has been called, is very worrying, because most of the information that we have on the ground, not with the interest to alarm, but to seek clarity, is that when people were moved from the polling stations, some of them just saw soldiers and they scampered and ran. Those are critical stakeholders, but upon resumption, what modalities were put in place that it was not a continuation or a recount that was exclusively to the officials of ECZ? Would want your clarity for you to give us at what moment you went in, what measures you put in, that the continuation was not an exclusive privilege that has been done by ECZ and a few were privileged, because you resumed counting almost immediately, and we don't know what happened to those unfortunate who had fled the polling station. Some had been beaten and kicked. So we'd want to be guided.
Mr. Kasonde Mwenda, sir.
Secondly,
Please wind up your questions if you can, but also can we mind if are we able to substantiate some of the words we are using? We are not here to alarm, but only speak to things you can substantiate. But please proceed to wind up your question.
thank you so much. You know, you starved us these questions. If you had allowed conversation, we wouldn't be, because this is just one of the 4 questions I have.
The more reason you should summarize your questions.
I'll tackle them, bring them to you. Don't rush me. I came rushing because in the first place, you're not giving us timelines. I was taking a shower, and what do I see? The beam that you're
Mr.
addressing.
Mwenda, we are not here to do a back and forth with each other. The commission has given you an opportunity. We are guiding, just like we've guided everybody. Please, can we not get to this? Ask your questions, and if you can, please summarize. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. We have also given you an opportunity. It's not like you are giving only us. So, you even made me lose my thought. So, would want clarity on that matter. Second one, we are stakeholders. I think this should be understood. Of course, we are not perfect. There will be mistakes. We'll correct each other with due should not only be important, but also feel to be important, and they are committing a crime when they share that information, guided by the CEO that is legitimate. That then means that, of course, it is a preserve of the ECZ to make a declaration of the winner. But it is no offense for you to make an announcement of how you have performed, based on the information that has been legally made available to you as legitimate by the ECZ. And it is that information that is coming from the ECZ at polling centers that we are capturing for our PVT, which is, trust me, we have the capability to compute those and be able to assess, not to declare that we have won, but to tell our position that with the numbers you are giving us, we are in poor position. We are not saying you have no consequence. You are of consequence, but don't criminalize even what is in the ambit of the law. Going forward, would want to put it across that you also take interest in what is happening to some of the accredited political players, some of them who are incarcerated. I think if people are in your courts, it will be polite for you to even notify the country saying some people broke the law, electoral law, according to your interpretation, and such measures have been taken. Because right now, we are busy looking for some accredited members who are probably
Mr.
in
Mwenda.
custody.
Mr.
Stop touching
Mwenda,
me. You're
please.
making me lose my thought.
No. Let's do this. When we guide, we have guided. What you're giving us is now going outside. You said you have 4 questions. We've given you the platform. Please try as much as possible to summarize. We have given you the opportunity, and we've said, can we quickly do this?
Okay,
Are you
thank you.
able to conclude your other 2 questions?
Sure. So there are a number of accredited members of ECZ who are in custody. We are indulging you respectfully that you take interest. We shouldn't be moving around looking for people who have disappeared. It is causing unnecessary tension. We have members of our party who are missing, who are accredited, and you should take interest. Finally, would also bring it to you. I saw how you called me out saying I just walked in. Yes, I called in because you did the abracadabra, that you had called this. Give us timelines. We want to be scheduled. Thank you so much. I think it has been communicated. We appreciate it.
Thank you. A reminder to our stakeholders, we are not here to battle it out. We are not fighting anybody. We are here to have a conversation. We are giving you this platform to interact with the Commission. We've been on this journey before, in this very Mulungoshi. We don't want to go back there. It is a well-known fact that we want to turn, somehow, for lack of a better word, such interactions into a circus. I think we will listen to you, but don't begin to also push us to have a back and forth with you. I don't think it is right. So with that said, if you need us, we will still be available to have conversations even outside the main briefings that we have. The CEO has committed, we are available. So with this, CEO, maybe you can wind up our responses.
Thank you. Joseph Phoenix, I think we addressed that question earlier, that remember that results for the National Assembly are finalized at the constituency level. So those can be accessed, but this is not to indicate that it's not important that the Commission shares centrally. I just indicated that please appreciate that for the Commission now the priority is to focus on the presidential election for obvious reasons. But as that when we get that opportunity, we will update the nation. But that doesn't mean that you have a blackout in this same window. Please, through your respective offices and so forth, get in touch with the returning officers. You will be availed with the declared winners for the members of parliament in the respective constituencies. I do take note that Mr. Kasonde's submission, most of them were really statements that may not require my response, but I just wish to address one issue. The suspension, resumption, and what were the implications. I think the statement from the chairperson was very clear, and the operative word there was resume. And within the provisions of the law and procedures. So if a station was counting, then you resume counting, and we know who is allowed to attend the count: agents, monitors, and observers, besides the commission staff. So that was the commission directive in that lifting of the suspension. For those that had already counted, resuming means you proceed to the next stage, which was take the results to the totaling center for purposes of the returning officer, adding them up, that is for the presidential election, and announcing the results for that constituency and transmission to Lusaka. So there is no recount. There's a procedure in the law for a request for a recount. As far as we're concerned, we have not yet received a report from a presiding officer that received a submission for any recount at any polling station. So that is the position with respect to that. I think the rest of the items, as I indicated, were comments that have been taken note of. So once again, with that, we will continue to update the nation, and maybe for the sake of repeating, the commission is scheduled to do 2 announcements of results today. The first at 13 hours, and on a lighter note, I've taken longer than I was instructed to do here. I pray it does not affect the 13 hours, or rather the team here is part of a key chain in that verification process, so we'll see how we can work double speed to ensure that we keep to our commitment for 13 hours. And then the second is scheduled for 20 hours this evening. I thank you.
Thank you. With that, we've come to the end of our briefing.
Madam,
this,
excuse me. I've just woken up from the bedroom to come here.
We will
My name is
beg
Ezra
to
Ngurube.
move.
I'm the secretary to
No,
the Council
sir.
President in the UPND Alliance.
Can
I would like
I
to
check
just bring
with
a
you,
suggestion
sir?
to the UCZ. The issue of questions now is over. Any political party that has got questions, let them write to you, the commissioner. Your time and your dedication right now, let it be to you announce the elections, not people coming here trying to alarm the situation. We don't want that. You ECZ right now, can you focus on the announcing of the elections, not this what we are hearing here.
I think
it is not fair. Look, these are confused people. They're trying to confuse the nation.
Okay,
We cannot allow that.
Can we end here?
Can you focus on the announcing of the elections? And let everybody do the same. Not what is happening here. It's not fair. Pakasalo Wamdala, the Zambia is depending on you. And this body, and this is the only body, they have got that kind of illusion in their mind to say they have won these elections. You are the only body to announce.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
Yes, madam.
May I request, we have closed this session.
I appreciate that. That's why
the
I asked you.
feedback,
I'm in the pajamas.
the feedback has been received and we'll beg to move for now. Thank you.
Right now, I'm in the pajamas. This nonsense should not continue. Zambia is big. Zambia is big.